Welcome to Game Pass News, where we talk about what is hot in the world of Xbox and what's coming and going on Game Pass each and every week. Thanks for listening. My name is Nick, and my co-host himself, John Abbott. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. It was a good, over here in America, we have do you guys have Memorial Days or something like that?
Yeah, but we I think it's our biggest one's November, so that's for V
Gotcha.
Day.
Gotcha.
So that's probably on what we make a lot of noise about.
Yeah. So yeah, well, not most. I don't know. I don't know how much, but it's a holiday and a lot of people are off, and so really it's just supposed to be a day to remember all of our military servicemen. And there was a lot of cool parades back in the day. I'm gonna sound like cranky Nick here, but like back in the day, I used to go to a parade and it was a lot of fun. But now it's really just seems like a holiday where you shovel like burgers and hot dogs in your face in good American style. And yeah, that's about it. So but it was fun to be with family and stuff like that. So anything on your side in the family
Um,
deal?
yeah. No, we've had a busy weekend. We had our Lindsay's best friend's son's birthday party on Saturday. We went to the beach on Sunday, which was good. Not so much for Logan because he's not very well, so he kind of
Uh,
just slept. But Jay enjoyed it. She went in the sea. It was freezing cold.
I was gonna say, what's the temperature of that?
It was 12 degrees air temperature, so the water temperature will have been about 7.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she was freezing when she got out.
Yeah, I
But
bet
yeah,
so.
that was fun. And then yesterday the weather was a little bit better, so we took the kids to a park. After I'd like tidied up and cleaned the house and tried to get on top of stuff from the weekend. And then we went for a big walk with the sister-in-law. It was a nice like 5K walk with the kids. So yeah, when it gets sunny in Britain, everything has to revolve around with being outside. So
Well, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's somewhat similar in Michigan here. So yeah,
it's very limited the amount of sunshine we get.
yeah. No, I can feel you there. It seems like we have similar weather, to be honest. Um, I actually the fam went to church on Sunday with no masks. Can I tell you how
Ooh.
weird that was? That was very weird. I felt like I was breaking like 10 laws, to be honest. Um,
We
but yeah,
I think the only time we had something like that, we took the kids to a forest. It's called Sherwood Forest, and there's like a Go Ape style like treetop adventure thing there. That's the only place I've been where there's been a lot of people in one place with no masks, and I felt exactly the same. I was like, "Why is everybody not wearing a mask? I can see everybody's face. This is really
yeah,
wrong."
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. I
I
mean, we're
mean,
just
but
there at
COVID
this point.
wise, COVID wise over here, it seems to be going really well.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
especially with the warm weather as well, that tends to. It did a lot last year in lockdown when it was really warm, for like, reducing the numbers and stuff like that. So hopefully, touching wood, we're in June, 20 days to go, and we'll hopefully like there'll be no more restrictions for anything. It'll be
Yeah,
so.
I'm with you. I mean, that's the way it is. There's a lot of people that still wear masks, like in the grocery stores and stuff like that. Not so much, but like at our church, and I mean, nobody's wearing a mask. I mean, there were like 2 people out of like probably 300-400 people that wore masks. So yeah, so we were like, well, we're vaccinated. Let's just do this, which is somewhat of a lie because I'm like, what is it, 35% vaccinated? My shot
Yeah,
is uh, my shot is next week for the other part. So that's not entirely true, but I'm like, I'm half vaccinated.
yeah.
So
I think the CDC over there they did say. I saw an announcement saying that if you were fully vaccinated, that you didn't have to wear a mask. But
yep,
over here, there's still it's like the colleges and schools are still enforcing it. Where I work are still enforcing it that like if you can't work outside of a 2 meter distance from somebody, you've got to wear a mask and stuff like that. So as much as I think the government over here might be saying, "Oh yeah, we can relax it a little bit more," I think companies and businesses have been quite sensible with saying, you know, let's maintain this for a little bit longer.
yeah. Yeah. Companies were doing a good job over here until the CDC was like, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And then I think people were like, there's just no way at this point. Like, who knows what's going to happen? So, like, everybody, like, our bigger, like, Walmarts and all that stuff were just like, nope, do whatever you want. It's just like, we're not going to tell people anymore. And I couldn't blame them because it was like, well, the CDC just made it really, like, muddy and murky. So, makes sense. But anyways, let's get into some top stories of Xbox. What do you say, man?
Absolutely.
All right, the top stories for this week. So we just want to let you guys know that next week we are going to be doing a deep dive into all the announced games that Xbox has that might be at E3. The announced games that don't have release titles or just have like a release windows. Think Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsports, Perfect Dark, all those games, Hellblade 2. So we'll be going into a deep dive of those, what we think we might see at the Xbox Bethesda presentation on the 13th. And so look forward to that. But this week, the top stories is the top 10. We wanted to go over the top 10 games that our community has given us. And FYI, if you have a top 10, you're listening to this and thinking, man, I would love to have gotten my top 10 in there, you still can. It's the summer of top 10 gaming. Trust me, it's going to take us a while to get through these. We will happily add yours in here. You can DM us on Twitter or hit us up on Facebook, or you can go on to Nintendo Dad's Discord and get us there and just drop in your top 10 of Game Pass. And we'll be going through these games slowly and making our own top 10 list for Game Pass news. So, Sean, you want to start off reading our good buddy Tim's? He gave us the top 4 is what he basically did.
I think Tim's limited because he's on the PC, isn't he? So he's limited to what he can play.
That's true.
And give us a bit of information on. But Madden 21, I have never, ever in my life played a Madden game. I have never played an American football game. So
okay,
that might be.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I don't even know the rules, so I'd have to learn the rules.
Dude, you gotta stream this. You have to stream Sean playing American football. This is like a must.
Yeah, definitely.
So can I tell you why I haven't played Madden?
Yep.
Because I'm afraid that I would get addicted again. Because in college, like I would go to class, I would come home, and I would sink so much time into the franchise mode of Madden, whatever it was 20 years ago at that point. I have no idea. But yeah, that's why I have never played a Madden game. That's why I've never played a Madden game on Game Pass, because I was just afraid I'd get it. So, hey, I'm down with him on a Madden 21.
Yeah, the next one, and it's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam, apparently. So, this could be quite a good one to try. Slay the Spire, which I'm just looking at game, like.
So it's a card
the gameplay
building game.
Yes, it is. It looks a little bit like Pokemon was in the playground.
Okay.
So yeah, you're choosing. I'm assuming you've got people that you actually have control of, but you choose their attacks via the cards that are in your deck.
It's got to be something like that. I've been listening to Dads After Dark as everybody should, because it's a good show. And I listened to NVC, and they were huge on this a while back. Dads After Dark has just recently been all about it a few episodes ago. I know Drew was super into it, so I have no problem playing this game. It's just a game that's got past me. If it's on Game Pass for free, I'm more likely to play it, to be honest. But yeah, I'd be all down for trying some Slay the Spire. That's for sure.
Yeah. Is the next one on his list is Narita Boy, which, looking at the artwork, that looks like it'd be a really cool game to play. It's got a very Mega Man style look to it, but with a nice retro futuristic look, if that makes sense. As in like what we would have seen in like the mid-90s, what people thought the future would look like.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Kind of cyberpunkish a little bit. Does it look a little like it's got
those
kind of colors?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I will say this one's a little controversial because Tim and Marty absolutely love this game, or they sure see. Obviously, Tim does. I think Marty does as well. But John John, not so much. He played this game and he thought it was good with some real serious issues. So I'd be interested to play this game and see where I land on. So I'm down to play some Naruto.
And then fourth on his list is Banjo and Kazooie, which I absolutely love. So
Great game.
I
Great
played the lights out of that when it was on N64, and then when it came out on the free Xbox 360, I also played the living daylights out of it there as well. So yeah, quite happily play that for a while.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll take over on third strongest moles list here. He's also, I believe he's also PC only. I think for Game Pass, fairly sure of that. So third strongest mole starts off pretty strong. Both Oris he throws on his list. Have you played either one?
I've tried, but they're a Metroidvania style game, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth, which I didn't know at the time. So when I was playing them, I was like, what am I supposed to do? There's no like logical flow to the game, which there isn't to Metroid Prime. Any of the Metroids, in fact, there's a lot of having to go to this area, back to this area to unlock this. So I kind of didn't give it my full attention. I mean, it's a wonderfully looking game, beautiful looking game. So yeah, it's probably one that now we're doing this, I'll have to revisit and play properly and maybe focus on rather than just doing what I usually do with games and run through them quickly.
Yeah, you're right about Metroidvanias though, man. So when I was younger and started to play Metroid, I didn't like it because I had been trained by Mario's that you start on one side of the screen and you go to the other. And when you get to the other side, you're done. Like, you don't go back. Like, there's no go. And so for me, that was just like, well, why am I doing that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not what you're supposed to do. You know?
It took me ages as a kid to finish Super Metroid.
Yeah.
It took me absolutely ages. So because of that, because you get to a point in that game and you've got to go to completely leave, like got to go all the way back to the beginning. And it took me ages to get into my head that, oh yeah, maybe I should go back to the beginning. I kept trying to like jump over things when I didn't have like the power to jump over it, and just yeah. So it took me a long time to finish that.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Like, even now, I am good if I know that when I go into this game, it's a Metroidvania. But if I don't go in with that knowledge, I have to like prepare myself. Okay, I'm gonna be backtracking and doing all different kinds of stuff to get where I need to get. If I don't go in with that knowledge, it is a little like, what am I? Oh, that's what this is, you know. So I'm with you on that. Oris are great. I beat the first one. I have not played the second one, so I need to play the second one, whether for top 10 or just for personal. The story in that game is spot on. Graphics are awesome. But yep, it's definitely a Metroidvania. Third on his list is Flight Simulator. Now this game is PC only, so I don't believe we'll be able to play it. I don't think I have a PC strong enough to actually run Flight Simulator. It's like 100 gigs or something like that, as I recall.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Yeah. I have played it back in the day, like before. Now it's much different, I'm sure, but I played it back probably like 2005. When I was a senior in college, I would do my homework to flying over America to some random airport. So I have definitely played it, and it is a lot of fun to do stuff like that. You take off and then you just put it in autopilot and do your homework. So there you go.
And growing up, I can remember my uncle played it a lot. He was a pilot himself, but for like light aircraft and gliders. So it was stuff like he just practiced flying on it. That was like his pastime.
That's pretty awesome. Like that's a pretty awesome testament that a pilot would practice flying on it. So I mean that tells you how crazy real that game is. That's impressive. The next game number 4 on his list, I do not know anything about it. I'm sorry. Crusader Kings, PC only.
No.
We're not going to be able to try it. So we'll just move on. Game 5, Streets of Rage 4. Have you ever played it?
I've played a lot of the Streets of Rage games, but I don't think I've played the 4th one. I think I played the originals that were arcade games.
Okay. It's a brawler, right? I mean, I'm getting it from the name. Okay.
It's
just wondering if I was totally wrong.
side-scrolling brawler, so
Okay.
they kept to the homage of their own, like the original games, but obviously updated graphics and probably
Sure.
a lot more moves and things that you can do.
Yeah, I put in some time on Streets of Rage 4. I've not, I mean, I would. I've never played it, but I would put some time. Sounds good. Number 6. Sorry, I lost my place. Number 6 is Octopath Traveler. Have you ever played Octopath Traveler, Sean?
I played the demo on the Switch because it was a huge, like the Nintendo does got like really behind
Mm-hmm.
this. They were like so excited for it. It's this, that, and the other. I played the demo and really enjoyed the demo, and like was looking forward to the game coming out. And then when the game came out, it came out all alongside something else. I
There,
can't remember what that was. But
that was the year that the Switch was backloaded with titles. Like with everything from, I think it came out when Link's Awakening came out, if
yes,
I recall. And
yeah,
there was
that's
just
the one.
all those games in the last half of the year. And yeah, it got
So I think I got Link's Awakening over this at the
gotcha.
time. And then by the time I'd finished playing Link's Awakening, I was going to buy Octopath Traveler. People were saying, "Oh, you know, the story is really good, but they don't ever meet to be in the same storyline." And I was like, "What?" Because it kind of like I don't know, the kind of hinted that that was what was going to happen. That you have all these, you had like 8 different characters that were all
Mm-hmm.
going on a different paths to come together to do the same thing, but it never actually got to that. So I was like, no, it's not for me. Then I'm not going to play 8 different paths of an RPG for it not to ever come to one. So
Yeah. So I was somewhat of the same thing. I was like, okay, I was kind of into the art style. I was also kind of sucked into the community because I that happens with me. You know, everybody's talking about it. Like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. And I'm like, I'm gonna play it too. I'll do it too. You know, I tend to fall for that sometimes. But then yeah, I was just like, oh, there's so much stuff, so much time. I never got to it, but I wouldn't mind. The only problem with this game is I feel like you cannot just play it for a few hours and have a feel of what you're doing, you know? Like, there's a serious time commitment here if you want to have any idea what's going on. It can't just be like, oh, I played it for 2 hours and I got a good feel of what it is. I feel like you barely beat through the
definitely,
tutorial in 2 hours. So, yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. And then the last game on Third Strongest Moles list is a duplicate, which is a good sign that it's a game that should be there, I would imagine. Slay the Spire, also on, we have already talked about on Tim's list. So why don't you take over John's list, Sean?
yes, definitely. So John starts off with both Aries, so you know that's another good. And
Yeah.
to come from Third Strongest Small, who I play a lot of games at the Third Strongest Small place, so knowing, and same with John, so knowing that those two people have chosen both those titles is pretty good. The next one on that list is Tell Me Why, and now I've not played that game, but it looks like it's a story type of game. I was looking at what it might be listed as.
So while you're looking it up, I will tell you this. John is all about this game. Actually, it surprises me. It tells you how good Ori is that Tell Me Why came after Ori's.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of shocked about that. He actually called us out when we announced our podcast. He said, well, who on something like, I don't know, it was a few weeks ago, but he was like, who on Game Pass News is gonna play Tell Me Why, or who has, or something like that. And so yeah, I'm not surprised, and I would give it a go for sure.
it's a game that I think Jaya would enjoy, and she's my eldest daughter. A narrative adventure game. She quite likes those. There's another one about a girl that takes photos. Um, I can't remember the name of that one, but she's played that. So I think it's something that she'd probably enjoy. I'm assuming that there's a side of you've got different decisions to make, which probably determine what happens in the game. So yeah, I'd try that one. I like those kind of games. They're a bit more in depth than just taking your brain out and blowing things up. So
Yeah, I've thought about maybe seeing if my wife would want to play this game alongside me. It's not like my wife is not a gamer by any sorts, but she does like herself a good drama. and I feel like that's what this is. Just you get to control the story a little bit. So I was wondering if I was thinking about maybe seeing if she wanted to play this, see how that went over. So
Yeah, then the next one on the list, I think got quite a lot of hype uh, graphically for its release and for its gameplay, which is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I wanted to play this game a lot, but didn't want to buy it. So knowing I can get it, and it's only 15 gigabytes, so knowing I can get it on Game Pass, I'm definitely going to give it a go. Because I mean, some of the photos and the graphic work looks amazing. And it's
yeah,
very Viking Valhalla looking,
hmm
which is like I quite like those style of games as well, as
yeah,
much as you, because you like them for Assassin's Creed. So
yeah. So this is gonna shock you, but when I first got the Xbox, John said you need to play Hellblade, and I said I don't think so, and he said no, you like Viking stuff, you need to play Hellblade. So I actually have played this game. And it is on the precipice of too creepy for me, like you're right on the edge a little bit. Could not play this game at night down here in my basement, let me tell you that. Um and so I would only play it during the day, but I have played this game. I do like it. It's got this really freaky game mechanic, which is
yeah,
funny because when I told John about it, he was like, "Oh, I didn't even recognize that." But it was like all I could think about, which was like, "Hey, if you die too many times and this blackness goes up your arm, it gets to your heart, then you're over." And it was like all like your game is literally over. And it was like all I could think about the entire game was like, "Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die." Like I don't want to have to redo this whole game. I can't do it. And so yeah, but it was a good game. It really was, and it really leans heavy into Viking lore. So if you like that kind of stuff, this might be right up your alley.
yep.
But yeah, I really did enjoy it.
The next one is the Medium, which I'm looking at this, and it looks like it's got a similar play style to Hellblade, but it's a little bit more creepy.
Yeah, I didn't
So
jump in on this with him for that exact reason. Because you're right.
psychological horror. So yeah, I'll probably that's one that I will take that on. I'll take one for the team.
And this one, its big deal is it has two worlds. Like it's the same world, but like there's two different versions of it. So like a door might be locked in one version of the world, but if you go to the other version, it might be open. So that's just
Yeah,
like a 20,000 feet version of that.
I mean, I've
Here's
got
a game
five.
we
I've
need
got
to play together. Sorry, I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. It's your list. I'm
Outriders.
sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, Outriders. I'm not sure about that because I'm not sure what the gameplay style's like.
It it's kind of like a so it seems to me like it's a co-op like shoot 'em up, kind of Destiny style. Is
Yeah, you see,
what it
that's
looks
where
like.
I'd struggle because I really did not like Destiny. It's
Oh, okay.
at all. To the point where I played Grand Theft Auto with a bunch of guys that then went to start playing Destiny, and I haven't played a game with them since.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I
Well,
was like,
all right.
not for me.
Yeah.
So I will try it, but I'm not holding any promises for that.
Now, what don't
So
you like about Destiny? Like,
um,
what's the aspect that you did that like makes you dislike it that much?
the like guns for hire style thing. So you kind of had to go to do. It's very Warhammer based.
Hmm.
Not was it Warhammer? Yeah, World of Warcraft. Which you had to go here to do this quest to do this. It's not my.
Yeah. Are you
It's not my
thinking Is it Warhammer or Warframe?
war. I'm not sure.
Okay, War. I'm not sure. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, it was very much like um you had to be a certain level to do certain things. B, if you weren't a certain level, granted it would be harder. And I just didn't get on with it at all. It was too futuristic. Too. It's like I fell off. You know how big of a fan I am of Call of Duty Warzone and
Yeah.
Call of Duty in general. They did a selection that were like advanced warfare where you could like run across walls and double jump and boost jump and bounce around. And it was like, there's only one place I want to be able to do that, and that's Halo, and that's where it
Mm-hmm.
needs to stay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'll give it a try, but I won't. Like I say, I won't promise that I'll enjoy it. So,
Fair enough.
Like to the point where I Destiny, I won't play ever again. And I know there's a big liking for it out there, streaming wise, and watching people play it.
Oh,
I couldn't bring myself to even watch somebody play it. So
yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah.
What's next on the
really bad because I've kind of like really hit that game really hard, and I know a lot of people like it, and I'm like, oh dear, there we go. That's the credibility of this podcast gone.
no, man. We all have our own opinions and our own thoughts. So what's next on John's list?
Control, which I believe this is on Stadia. I think it's on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, streaming. Yeah,
you played it on Nintendo Switch.
I did not. I played the demo, which is like 15 minutes, basically nothing, quite frankly.
So I haven't played this at all. So
yeah, I would like to play this. To be fair, I enjoyed. I mean, it's 15 minutes. It didn't even get to shoot a gun in the game, so it basically they call it a demo. What it was on the Switch was really just a an internet performance app. Is what it really was, just to see if your internet was good enough to handle the streaming, which mine was, and I really thought about buying it, but I just never pulled the trigger on it for whatever reason. Oh, I know what it was. There were a lot of Twitter pictures coming out right after this game dropped of people being like 3,000th in line to get on the server to play it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want a game where I buy it and then I have to get in line to play whenever, So that's what made me actually pull out.
So give it a try on the Xbox.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Definitely a good place to try it.
Yeah.
Next on the list, new Super Lucky's Tale, which is my kind of game. I want to play this. I've wanted to play it for a long time. I think it's one that I could probably quite happily be able to play in front of the kids as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
If I was to do a stream of playing this, I'd probably do it with those in the background because they'd probably laugh and want to play. I know my youngest daughter would want to try it. So it's very 3D. I'd say side-scrolling, but it swaps from side-scrolling to like open world looking. So
I've actually beat this game. It is a fantastic game. It is probably the best 3D platforming game, right behind, like a Mario, like a recent Mario 3D game. I mean, they really have done a great job with the jumping. It does feel a lot like Odyssey because you go from, it's predominantly 3D based, but then you go into these fun like 2D things, and then sometimes you have an auto runner section where Lucky just moves quick and you just got to jump over stuff. So it has that Odyssey kind of thing where you flip from different play styles throughout the game. But it's predominantly a 3D platformer. And yeah, it's a great game. It is. Play it for sure.
Definitely. And the last one on his list is Cyber Shadow. And now I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, that looks like Metroid. Graphically, it looks like Metroid.
I don't know anything about the gameplay except for that it's really hard. That's what everybody tells me. Really hard.
I'm getting that from the craziness, but that's happening on screen. But yeah, it looks like you're in the same gameplay style as Metroid, but you're a ninja. So
yeah, sounds fun. I'd give it a go.
Do you want to take on Shiv's?
Oh yeah, list? I can do that. Shiv UK. This is probably one you have played. His first on the list, Forza Horizon 4. Have you played that?
Absolutely, played it to death. It was a game that when the Xbox One S came out, I got a TV to suit the Xbox One S. Played it and instantly fell in love with it. Graphically, such a beautiful game to play. Lots of options for different vehicles of different ages, different styles, different race styles. So you've got like open world, like sprint racing, Baja style off-road racing, to track racing and stuff like that. It is a game, well, like all Forza Horizon games, it mixes all different race styles into one, and you've kind of got to play all the different race styles to get through the game. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It's one of the games that made me fall in love with how great the Xbox can be graphically. So
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question here. I don't have anything against Forza. I just am not. I'm not like a car racer guy. Is this like? Are you racing? Is it street racing? Are you racing like in like what kind
it's
of racing is it?
everything.
It's everything.
Street racing, track racing,
Okay.
rallying, off-road, point-to-point racing,
Okay.
and the difficulty level really lies upon yourself. So it starts off with you being an absolute novice. Like you could go into this game never playing a racing game ever, and can go through the whole entire game with never having to increase the difficulty. But as you get better at the game and like you start being in the lead and finishing like tens of seconds in front of the computer, it kind of prompts you to say, you're getting better at this game. Let's increase the difficulty. Every time it does that, you also get a better reward of XP and cash, so you can buy more things in the game. So kind of like it leads you into wanting to make the game harder. So to the point where whenever I fire a Forza Horizon game up, I instantly just go into it and increase the difficulty because I know I can beat it quite easy.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's the same with Dirt. The Dirt series from Dirt 3 did that kind of gameplay as well.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I had no problem giving it a shot. I will certainly do that. I just have never played it, to be honest. Celeste. So Celeste is a pixelated, like I think it's 16-bit side scroller platformer type thing. It can be very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult, but it can be brutal. Let me put it that way. It's very difficult. It can be brutal if you want to get all the different, what are they? Strawberries, and to see all the different sides of each tape. It has a fantastic story. Like oh man, such a good, probably the best story I have seen in a video game in a very long time. Touches on mental health, which I think is just a topic that doesn't get mentioned enough in video games. That might be changing as of recently, but this game just does such a good job with it. So I've obviously beat it. I love it. I don't know. Have you played it yet, Sean?
I haven't played it. I'm looking at it. I will try it. It looks very Super Meat Boy. And like there's a lot of bouncing around to do.
Yeah, she has double jumps and dashes and stuff like that. You'll find you'll find that you might get sucked in by the story, because the story is 1,000 times more in depth than what you're gonna get on Super Meat Boy. But yeah, so it is a fantastic game though. I surely love it. You're gonna play it. If you don't play it here, you're probably gonna play it when I put it on my list next week. So just so you know.
Fair enough.
Number 3 for Shiv UK, New Super Lucky's Tale makes the list again. And so we already talked about that one, so we'll jump on to number 4, Tetris Effect Connected. Have you played this game?
I haven't, no.
Effect Connected. I should have looked it up. I'm sorry. So, I mean, I don't know if it's a Tetris game where you have to play against other people. That's all I have to say.
Yes, it looks like it's got online it's got online capabilities. Looking at because I just went through all those games as we were going through them and looked at the pictures and the blurb on the Game Pass.
Gotcha. Okay, this has co-op in it. I might be interested in playing a Tetris game where I can play co-op, because it says Tetris Effect is known for with all new co-op and competitive online and local multi. Listen, I don't want to play Tetris online. I know y'all are amazing. I'm happy for it. I am not. I get like Tetris 99. I'm lucky if I can get to 75. Like
Wow.
I don't know, man. Like, are you good at Tetris, Sean?
Tetris. I'm good. I'm good at Tetris. Yeah.
Are you? Okay, good for you. I'm not.
Anxiety style game that obviously the music increases the more levels you do. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd be good with playing some Tetris Effect co-op. That sounds great to me. You and me, we can co-op. You can carry all the places that I falter, and that'll be great. But yeah, I am not a fan.
So that's our community's top 10 so far, which it's a good range. We've got some very different game styles.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done my list.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. We're gonna hear Sean's list this week and my list next week because possibly I didn't get my list. I'm not gonna lie. I was eating a bunch of burgers, Sean. Okay, I mean, I was,
Yeah, you've had a busy weekend.
yeah, I was gonna come home. And... Go ahead, sir.
I went from A to Z, sorry, of all the games that are on there, and I just picked the ones that I've either bought, which are now on Game Pass. Because if I buy a game, I absolutely loved it or wanted to play it, and then ones that like I've played because we're doing this thing with Game Pass News that I have now fallen in love with. So
gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna come home and do it, and then I'm pretty sure I fell into like a meet or something, and I passed out. So. All right, so sorry guys, I'll get mine done. But why don't you? Where you want me to? Yeah, you do it. You lead off your.
I'll do mine. Yeah. So the first one from on the list is EA's Battlefield 4. It's an amazing Warzone style game. Very difficult to play on your own.
Okay.
But good to play if you've got a squadron of people because you get put into teams. So there's a blue team and a red team, but then blue team's made up of Team Alpha, Team Bravo, Team Charlie, and there's different not different checkpoints, but there's different objectives that you've got to hit and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very tactical, very it's not Call of Duty where you can just keep running and running and running and running. Every time you respawn, you don't respawn in the same sort of area. You've got to kind of make your way back. So it's good to make sure you get behind cover and talk with people and be like, oh yeah, I spotted this here, spotted that there, and really, really good tactical online shooter.
So, are you playing against other people, or are you playing against computer players? Who are you playing against?
You're playing against other people.
Okay, all right. Well, this sounds great.
I
can't wait to play this.
There is a campaign version, I believe, where you can play like a campaign, which is quite good to play. But it's graphically really good and really realistic, where there isn't silly weapons and it's kind of like Dead Space 3 is my second one. Now I've liked all the Dead Space games, but Dead Space 3 specifically because I think it was the one that's more set in the Arctic or the cold of space. It's quite a jumpy game, so I do apologize.
It'll be a good stream game. It'll be fun.
But the storyline, the storyline to it's really good, and there's like a really good aspect of having to upgrade your character and things like that as you go through to be able to do things. So that's a good one.
Sounds fun. Let's do it. I'm in.
The third one, Doom Eternal. Out of all the Dooms that are available on the Game Pass, I chose Doom Eternal because it's crazy to play. The soundtrack is fantastic, and I played a lot of it a year after it came out because of Animal Crossing. But
yeah. So this is the one I've played, right? This is the one that I downloaded. I mean, I played a hot second of. I admit, I didn't play much of it. So, all right. Well, so I'm not gonna lie. I think it might have left my Xbox, but I will put it back on my Xbox and I will give it. I'll give it another go.
All I can say is just drink Red Bull before, because then your heart rate matches the game pace. So another one that you will have to revisit then. Number 4 on my list is Fallout 4, which I know you had some technical issues with.
Yeah, I did. Let me tell you.
Is it? I can't remember his name now.
Codsworth.
Codsworth wouldn't complete the task for you, but yeah, should give it another try, because that is I've just started Fallout 76, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Literally to the point where I've created my character and walked out of my bedroom. That's as far as I've got with it.
Nice.
So yeah, Forza Horizon 4. That's number 5 on my list, but we've already covered what that's like. Number 6 is Human Fall Flat. You've played the Moving Out, wasn't it?
Yeah, Moving Out. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You played that with Noah. Mm-hmm. This is like that, but you've got level-based objectives to complete. So one of them might be that you've got to like just basically get across the level and activate different switches, or you've got to carry this item from one to another. But it's a really good multiplayer game with a really good ragdoll physics.
All right, you just answered my question. I was going to ask if it was co-op based. So
yeah, online co-op based. So I don't mind playing this one with you because it's hilarious.
Okay, cool.
So because you can control each arm separately or together, and you've got to like try and row boats and stuff like that. It's
yeah, I'm in on that. That sounds good.
So number 7 on the list. This is the one that because of Game Pass I have fallen in love with. Is Lonely Mountains Downhill. I still play that daily when I fire the Xbox up.
That's awesome.
Try and beat a record, so I've unlocked all the mountains, all the trails. I'm now in the process of unlocking all the nighttime trails.
Whoa, that's got to be difficult. Gotta be crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's hard.
Yeah,
because you only get this little beam of light, so it's like having to kind of remember each trail.
Wow. So, yeah. I'd be on it.
Number 8 on my list, and I apologize, but Resident Evil 7. That is a really big game to be on Game Pass. That couldn't not have made this list. I played a bit last night with Jaya because she was stuck. So yeah, my 14-year-old daughter plays this. So put some brown pants on and get in.
Put your growing up pants on, Nick, and play this game. So just so that everybody, before we move on, Sean keeps saying he's sorry because I will play every game for sure that's on Sean's list. So that means, and Lord knows if you don't know, I'm not a fan of horror games. So I will be streaming some Resident Evil 7 in the daylight at like 1 p.m. Okay, like I'm not playing this game at night. It's gonna happen with every light on. I'm not doing no Sean Abbott in the dark with playing Outlast. Not gonna happen over here. I'm gonna be playing with all the lights on.
The only thing you've got to remember is it isn't real, and you can always come back to life. That's what I had to tell myself last night. We were doing the bit last night where you're having to go through these like creepy looking boiler rooms and stuff, and there was like these weird tentacly looking monsters that like kind of come out the wall. And when I first played it, I was like, oh my god, this is so scary. Last night when I was playing it, I sat next to Jay, I was like, I have to be brave. Let's get through this. Let's not panic. And so yeah.
Don't scream like a girl. Okay, great.
Yep,
sounds good.
Definitely.
I'll probably do all that. Panic, scream like a girl. It'll be fun. You guys will have a great time. Somebody will.
Number 9 on my list, and this is here because it is one of my all-time favorite. Like, if I've just trying to kill time for whatever reason, game to play, Skate Free. EA did a fantastic job of taking over the skateboarding game industry to the point where Tony Hawk and Activision did not make anything for years because of these guys, and they're still struggling now. I can't like Tony Hawk cannot, for me, with Activision, make a game that is as good as Skate Free for skating.
Nice.
Arcade. They're very arcadey, the ones that Activision make. Like, you can do loads of crazy stuff, do this, do that, do the other. Skate Free is very more a skate game.
Nice. So. Well, I'm not a skater, but I will give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely play the tutorial and get used, because you're going to have to use your thumbs for different things.
All right.
So, and then last on the list, and I know you like this one because it's Viva Pinata. It's such a great game. I mean, I sunk a lot of time into this on the Xbox 360, and I've tried to get back into it.
Yeah.
Again and again.
Yeah, I'm really
excited
nice about this. Yeah, I love it, man. I had I had so many animals. Yeah, I loved doing this, putting the plants, making the animals come. This was great. Love this game. Right up my alley. So yeah.
So yeah, that's my top 10. It's a very diverse top 10.
I think it's awesome. It's a good list. I will play them all for sure. We'll play them all throughout the summer, and when it's all said and done, after you guys submit all yours and we've played our lists fully, we will make our own top 10. We'll make a little. We'll tell you more about an algorithm to kind of make all the numbers add up, and we'll go from there. But let's move on to our Xbox ID Spotlight.
Okay, so welcome back for the Xbox ID Spotlight. In here, we usually talk about what we've got going on console-wise and what we're going to be playing. So, Nick, why don't you start us off with what you've been playing recently?
Yeah, I am going to talk about 2 games. I'm going to start with Mechwarrior 5. I've put about 3 hours into this game, played a couple of missions, This game is super fun. As I said on Twitter or in my first impressions, it is a lot of fun. Do not think of this as like your mech game that you can go into and shoot like arcade style and just kind of you'll have a lot of fun shooting stuff, but there is some real finesse to learning how to move these mechs. Basically, one stick controls like you're moving forward and back and where you're looking, and the other stick controls where your legs are pointed. So it's very easy where you will be like going in a direction you're not looking. And that gets like it's like a mind pretzel to like figure out with your hands about like, okay, I need to move my one stick left to move my legs that way, but I might want to look to the right. So I'm going to have to move the sticks in opposite directions, and I'm going to be moving somewhere I'm not looking. And so that's really like, man, that took me a lot of time to figure out. And I'm still not super great at it, to be fair. So there is that you're going to have to wrap your mind around. But once you do figure it out, whoa, is it super rewarding. Like, you just feel like you're the boss moving around shooting stuff. There's also a really cool contract negotiation type economy in this game where when you're mercenaries, that's the name of the game, Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, subtitle of the game. And so you get to you get the contract, you get to negotiate for how much it's worth. You then also get to negotiate for like insurance and how much and like bonuses and perks for sub objectives and stuff like that. So the economy in this game, there's really a lot there, and it's you get more negotiating points for the better your company is rated in the world. So yeah, I mean, if you like those kind of things, if that sounds like it's up your alley, you should definitely check it out. It just dropped this last week. There's also a Let's Play on our YouTube channel that I have done. So you know, give it a look. I will not lie. It's a little rough. Not the game, but me driving the mech was a little rough at times. So I'm sorry for that.
It's always good. It's always good to see the learning curve.
Yeah, there is a serious learning curve to try to figure out where your legs go and where you're looking. At least for me, there was. The second game I played, Conan Exiles. Let me tell you, I've talked about being excited about what this game is all about. This is a survival game. You get chucked into this world that is not the nicest, and you basically have a loincloth in your hands. That's all you got. And if you choose the different version, you might not even have a loincloth, apparently. But I chose the loincloth version. So
fair enough.
So there you go. And it's a little buggy at times. Like we have also something's on YouTube for this as of well, this week it dropped. And I got stuck in a tree twice. I only showed the one time I got stuck in the tree because I didn't feel you guys needed to see it happen again. So I got stuck in a tree once. I had to, and they know this kind of stuff happens, I'll guarantee you, because there are these bracelets that are on your wrist, and you can choose to remove the bracelets at any time, and you automatically die, and it'll restart. So because I didn't understand that at first, and so I'm like, am I just gonna have to sit here and like let myself like basically dehydrate to death? But then I figured out that there are these bracelets, and I removed them, and that changed, and that made it a lot easier to die, I guess. But it's very frustrating that happens. But when you can get past that, if you're a survival fan, you like the crafting, you like figuring out all of it on your own. That's a big part of this game. There's no new tutorial, there's no nothing like that. You literally figure out, okay, I need to make this wineskin. How do I make it? How do I fill it up with water? I have no idea. They don't even tell you that kind of stuff. You got to figure out the controls and how to fill it up. And then how do I drink from it? Like, there's just a ton of stuff. I died 3 times in the first half hour because I ran into people that I didn't. The first guy I ran into, he's like, I'm sure they do this on purpose, by the way. The first guy I run into, he's like, hey, nice to meet you. This world can be kind of mean, so watch out. And I was like, well, that guy was nice. That's no big deal. So then I run up to the next guy, and it's like, whoosh, axe in the head. I'm like, okay, all right. He's not lying. All right. One nice guy does not make another. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah. But here's the thing. I can play Conan Exiles. Everybody knows I've had a little addiction with Red Dead Online. Or I can play Red Dead Online. I cannot play both. Here's the problem. Conan Exiles is different because it has no like microcurrency. Okay? Like it's just the game that it is. I think I'd rather play Red Dead Online, but there's these microcurrency of gold bars that I either have to spend real money on or I have to spend like 3 weeks playing to get enough gold bars to do what I want to do. Or
Yeah, that's the issue. I think
yeah,
Rockstar has that a lot because when I used to play Grand Theft Auto online, um, you run into the same issue that you need to make money to get to like be able to like buy an apartment or to unlock to buy a certain base that so you can do like the casino heist for them and stuff like that, which you can buy a shark card, which is like their credit card, which then means that you get like 2 or 3 million instantly, or you do a lot of grinding of having to do like the same few missions over and over again because you know they're the ones that give you the bigger return, and it's like, what do you do?
yeah, I mean, I want to play Red Dead. For the most part, Red Dead, there is something about the fact that Conan's a little faster. It's not as slow paced as Red Dead that I do like also. But oh my gosh, I do not want to do all these. All I want to do is be a trader and then a moonshiner. Like that's what I want to do. But those two things, I don't know why. That just sounds like a lot of fun to me. By the way, those two things take 50 gold bars. I have played for 5 hours. You know how many gold bars I have? One and a half. One
Yeah,
and
I
a
don't even have
half.
one yet.
I mean, I mean, so if I extrapolate that out, I have to play for like 50, 60 hours before I would get enough gold bars. And so I don't know. I'm torn between do I continue Red Dead Online or do I move to Conan Exiles as like my big game that I just like play here and there, continue playing on and on. I'm not certain. I'll take any of your guys' advice. Any tips or thoughts I'd be happy to have, but
Uh, I don't know. I'd have to play Conan Exiles to figure it out because for me it's screaming carry on with Red Dead just because it's a good reward to play for that long and then unlock the next thing. Because as soon as you unlock the next thing, it means that you'll probably make money faster.
mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's
it's just
true.
that initial grind to get there first.
It's only $5 for 25 bars, by the way. So you may, if I choose Red Dead, you may see that I have plunked down $5 for 25 bars. Because I mean, legit, that does not seem like too big of a price to pay if I can move on.
No.
So that may happen. But for now, that's my dilemma. Conan Exiles. There are some bugs, but if you like that style of gameplay, man, it's rewarding. I built. By the way, there's a big penalty for death in this game. So you have to build a wooden box. I'm sure you can build any kind of box at some point, but your first box is a wooden one, and put stuff in the wooden box to save it. Anything you have on you, including your weapon, your clothes, anything in your inventory, are wiped away when you die. I mean, it's excruciating to be like, oh, now I have to go and craft all that. I had all this stuff, and then I died, and then I was like, I had lost my shirt, and I'd lost everything. So there's a big penalty for death in this game. So those are my Xbox ID spotlights, man. What do you got?
I've got, as I mentioned earlier, I've got Fallout 76, which I avoided playing for so long because a lot of people said that there was a big aspect of you could just easily get nuked and wiped out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was a bit like everybody was after you all the time. So I'm kind of hoping now that the game's a bit older that that's calmed down. So I've loaded it up. I've created my character, and it plays and looks just like Fallout 4.
Okay.
I think the storyline is that it's years after Fallout 4, and you kind of start at the celebration of the completion of Vault 76. So,
Okay.
which interesting Easter egg. Apparently, in one of the Doom games, I don't know if it's the 2016 Doom, somebody spotted that there was a sticker on one of the doors on the Mars platform on the Mars station, and like a sticker had fallen off and it said Vault Tech underneath it. Now, whether or not that's real or if it's just been photoshopped, I don't know. But
That's cool if
funny
it has
Easter
been.
egg.
That's neat.
So, but yeah, so I will. That's something I'm going to be playing and streaming possibly tomorrow. Fingers crossed tomorrow.
I'm excited for that.
So because I've got a couple of things to do. So I've got what was the one that I said I would do?
Dirt. Weren't you going to play Dirt?
Yeah. The other one that I've not put on the list. Super Hot.
Oh yeah, yep. Your newest addiction.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about that next. Super Hot Mind Control. I'd seen people play this online. I'd seen like snippets of it and stuff like that, and then I thought, I'll give it a go. But my word, it's amazing. It's really basic. You're in basically a white world where there's black things that you can pick up. So there's no detail to the objects. It'll be just like a black crystal looking object, but it'll be shaped like a cup, or it'll be shaped like a magnifier, like a scientific like lab scope type thing.
Okay.
And there's the enemies in it are just made of red crystal, and you're made of black crystal. There's no detail to the face, no detail to the clothing, anything like that. And what happens in the game is every time you move, time moves. So if you stay still, time moves, but really, really, really slowly.
Okay.
And you've got to take everybody out in the level using by whatever means. You can punch them, you can throw things at them, there's guns you can use to shoot and stuff like that. But you've kind of got to be strategic in that there'll be a guy coming towards you with like a crowbar, but then in the background there's a guy with a pistol, and you've got to be mindful that the guy with the pistol obviously can reach you from range. So you move a little bit, see what he does next, then you tackle the guy that's coming to you. As soon as you hit him with anything, he'll drop his weapon. So you can then pick his weapon up and use his weapon against him. You can then throw that weapon at the guy with a pistol. So then that'll knock him. He drops the pistol. You can grab his pistol, shoot him, turn around, take out the next guy.
Yeah, you need to stream this, because I'm watching when you're talking. Sorry for the people who are watching and my head's down, but I'm watching when you're talking, and I totally get it. But man, I don't know if I'd have got it without watching this little like Game Pass trailer. But that looks really cool.
Yes, and there's a really weird like nightmarish side of a storyline to it, that basically you're stuck in this loop and you don't have like when you first start the game. I thought, oh wow, this is really short, because like you play through this one level and it's like that's it, the end, and like you go back to the title screen and I was like, oh well, okay, that's really short. But then like if you go through all that sequence, it then says you don't have to do this. You really don't. You can stop. You don't have to keep going back in. But the more you go into it, the more levels you unlock. And it's all about coding. So you can get different hacks that you can use, different parts of the game where like there's a hack that every time you load up, you'll start with a random weapon. Or like if you get hit by somebody, like you set off a little explosion of like ninja darts and stuff like that that'll take anybody out that's around you. So
we should post the thing on Twitter, the key art on Twitter, and see how many people actually know that it's a 3.5 floppy.
Yeah.
The title is made of a 3.5 inch floppy, old school deal. It's got Super Mind Control Delete on it. How many people actually even know what that is anymore?
So, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I'll definitely try and get a streaming of that, but there's been levels. I'm stuck on one now that you only get 2 hearts. So if you take a hit like at the very beginning and then take a hit like halfway through a segment of levels, you've got to start them all over again, and that process gets really difficult.
Wow.
Excuse me. And then the other game that I've got is Dirt 5, which I played a lot of the Dirt games. Ken Block, the superstar rally driver that came out of the US, I think he jumped on the Dirt series like at Dirt 3, and and since then it's all been more about rally cross rather than just rallying. Dirt was just an old school rally stage style game. We kind of battled with Colin McRae in the early years. But yeah, they've kind of introduced more different car types, different game, like different race types. And then there's a whole gymkhana aspect of like being able to drift around objects closely and like do jumps and stuff like that. So, and that's it. That's all I've got loaded up at the moment.
Nice. Well, then let's move on to the breaking news for this week.
So, breaking news: games that are just out this week, literally announced while we were recording the podcast. First one on the list is The Wild at Heart, which was already out as a console. Nick played this and really enjoyed it. Covered it last week. It was the Pikmin-like game, which we kind of wanted to trademark that game style. That Nick played. He really enjoyed it. It's now out on the cloud. So if you want to get hold of that on the cloud, do so. Forewarning, the cloud seems to be a battery killer, especially for iPhones. I'm not sure. We've not had any reports from anybody that uses an Android yet, but yeah, just be wary. And then the next one that comes out this week, June 3rd, which will be out by now, by the time you listen to this on Saturday, is For Honor, which is coming out to cloud and console. Not entirely sure what this game entails, but give it a shot. We'll probably get some coverage of it in the next coming days. And so, yeah, check it out on our YouTube channel. All I'll do now is I'll hand you over to Nick for the golden ticket.
All right, the golden ticket. As of today, the King's Bird and Geo Battle Coliseum have replaced Armello and Tropico 4. So if you wanted Armello and Tropico 4, they are gone. Sorry, too late. You missed them. And Geo Battle Coliseum and the King's Bird are up. We have some footage of King's Bird on our YouTube channel, so you can get a feel of what that game is if you're interested. Get a look before you claim it, or before you want to figure out if you want to play it. But that is really all there is for the golden ticket. We got some stuff in the Rumour Mill that dropped this week, though, so I'm going to pass it back to Sean for a little bit of that.
Okay, thanks very much, Nick, for that. Welcome to the Rumour Mill. Here we're going to tell you about what's coming out soon, which is Backbone, which is PC only. So for the likes of Tim and Third Strongest Mole, or any other listeners out there that are PC only for Game Pass, that's coming out on June 8th. The next one on the list is Darkest Dungeon, which is coming out on console, cloud, and PC. What Xbox calls the Play Anywhere style game, and that is June 10th. Also, what we're still waiting for any news on is the Ascent, which we're both quite looking forward to playing. We've got no news of a date, so just keep your eyes peeled on our Twitter or the Xbox Game Pass Twitter, which is where we tend to get most of our news from.
Yeah, that's right.
And the next one is Cristales, which again, there's still no news for any of those.
I will say, so I looked up Darkest Dungeon, just to give you all an idea. I'll just read the description real quick. It's a challenging gothic roguelike turn-based RPG about the psychological stresses of adventuring. Like, there's a lot to unpack there. Recruit, train, and lead a team of flawed heroes through twisted forests, forgotten warrens, ruined crypts, and beyond. You'll battle not only unimaginable foes, but uncover strange mysteries. So that's an idea of the Darkest Dungeon. We were talking about this offline a little bit, Sean, but I think this is what we're gonna get before E3. Like these are the games. This is it. And then the next time we hear from Xbox about Game Pass games will probably be E3. Agree with that?
But yeah, that's everything from the breaking news, the two items there that are out this week, and then the Backbone and Darkest Dungeon. Sorry, they're the games that you mean for the roadmap, aren't they?
Yeah.
We'll probably see. I was kind of hoping that there'll be some kind of map then from E3 that'll take us maybe up till it's definitely after the summer.
Yeah, get us through the summer, and then maybe they'll touch on some. We're getting into some next week stuff, but it's just so much fun. You can't help it. Touch on some holiday stuff or something like that, but it'll be interesting to see.
So next week, you'll get on the Saturday, you'll get next Saturday, you'll get all that information about what we hope to see at E3, what we can be excited for. And then afterwards, on the 13th, we're going to be doing, we're going to be watching the E3 event together, digitally, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we'll be recording our live commentary on that. I'm probably trying to get that out at ASAP, either the Sunday evening or first thing Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think that's everything from us today.
That's true. It is. Wow, I just realized that. That is a show.
Yeah, that is a show. We've done quite a lot of that.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
We always start out with a very small doc, and then it just seems to grow. And then halfway through, because Xbox has kind of joined in with what we got from Nintendo when we ran Dead Crossing, they like to drop stuff on us in the middle of recording. So
yeah, that's nice. We'll take that. It's better than the day after.
Yeah, definitely. So, as always, you can follow us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and Twitter. If you just search for Game Pass News, you'll find us there. And a quick word for where else you can find us, and that's on Nintendo Dad's Discord. We are the non-Tendo show for the Nintendo Dads, which I don't think I could say that any quicker.
Yeah.
So, for $1 a month, you can hang out with us there over at Discord. If you just head to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, subscribe and get your access. So join us, give us a chat. You can chat to the people that we've mentioned. So Tim, First Strongest Man, Zach Blank, which is John from Dads After Dark, and Shiv, UK. Yeah, from myself and from Nick, we hope to hear from you soon. And until next time, we'll see you.
See you later, guys.